Oh shit, wait, am I streaming to Facebook or not? Okay, and we are live. Yo, yo, yo. Tell me what you know. Welcome to the Sunshine Show. Woo! You guys, oh my God, I have the most special treat for you tonight, this evening, this morning, wherever in the world you may roam. I have the one and only, the most amazing, the most phenomenal, the most fabulous, the most Willie of them all, you guys. I got Raelyn Nelson in the building. Raelyn, what's up, girl?
Hey, cheers, y'all. Thanks for having me. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Boom.
I'm rolling a joint.
It's a weed and whiskey kind of day today, you guys. We're having a full-on party with Raelyn Nelson out of Nashville, Tennessee. You may know her as the granddaughter of the great Willie Nelson, but let me tell you, this woman has her own legacy to fulfill, and we're going to talk all about it tonight. We are just getting started. You know how this works. Drop your comments and your questions in the comment section. I will get to them as soon as possible. Let's get this motherfucking party started. All right, girl. So you're living in Nashville, Tennessee. You have this beautiful background behind you. Do you live in the woods, in a cabin? What's going on?
Yeah, I live in just a house, but I call it the tree house because it's built on a hill. There's lots of hills in Tennessee, built on a hill. So the back deck is kind of further up than the front, you know? And so it looks like you're in a tree house because there is woods and there's a little creek behind me too. You just can't see it because everything's grown up now.
So super funny, awesome story about that. I actually used to live in Austin, Texas. I worked at the Capital Area Food Bank. And when I moved out there, I moved out to Pedernales because I had the opportunity to live in a tree house on 7 acres that was like a mile away from your granddad's recording studio. Dude. Cool. And so me and my son was about 9 at the time. I would drive an hour each way from Spicewood to Austin just to live that experience, to live in a treehouse and just be, I felt like I was close, you know, to Willie, and that's obsessive, but that's who I am. So I'm so glad to share it with you. Awesome. So before we went live, we were talking about your yoga studio that you just opened. Tell us about this.
Yeah, funny enough, a couple of months ago, the yoga studio that I've been going to, the lady who ran it asked me and a couple of other girls there to take it over because she didn't want to run it anymore. So over the last 2 days, because it officially happened today, June 1st, Stardust Yoga. So I named it after my grandpa's song and album, Stardust. And our thoughts behind that were, you know, that album is, you know, where he covered a lot of different other artists' tunes, and that were maybe a little bit different than his natural musical style, but songs that he loves. So we were kind of just using that as like a way, like, we want everyone unique. We want to do you, you know, bring it. We want to do you. That sounded awful.
Hey, we'll take it. Bring it in, girl.
We want you to be you and feel like you belong in this space. It's yours. Everybody, just embracing everybody's unique humanity, you know, identity and humanity, or whatever that is. And then so we did Willie Wednesday. Our first class today was at 4:20, Willie Wednesdays, and we just played Papa Willie songs and did yoga. And so that's why I'm sweaty and nasty and just threw on some eyeliner for you. But
I appreciate that. But I would have taken you anyway, girl.
It's a good thing you can't smell me right now. That's because it was a very sweaty class. It is very hot in Tennessee right now. Where are you? I forget.
I'm in Santa Cruz, California.
So how hot is it there? It's usually like
79. Yeah, it's like 72, 70 right now. It feels so good. Like, we don't even have air conditioners here because it just doesn't really get that hot.
Oh yeah, it's like 88 degrees here and no breeze. But I actually love this weather more than cold. I don't like being cold, so
yeah,
whatever.
Very cool. My mom is actually in Texas, and I see you in the chat, Mama Bear. Thank you for hanging out.
Hey, Mama.
She says it's like over 100 degrees over there. I also have my best friend Amelia, who's also in Austin, Texas, in the chat. What's up, girl? We got Ray in the house. We got Christella. We got Chris Luna all the way from Hawaii. Hell yeah, you guys, if you got it, smoke it. This episode has been brought to you by weed, ladies and gentlemen. Weed.
Yep.
Awesome. So I'm apparently now moving to Nashville, Tennessee, so that I can attend Stardust Yoga and Willie Wednesdays, you guys.
Yes. And then I'm trying to figure out a way to do it where I can put it online so people can, at least jump in for Willie Wednesdays and just do yoga with us from wherever you are.
Dude, you guys would have so many people hanging out for that for sure. I would subscribe if that was like a Patreon option. I would definitely subscribe just to be able to attend that class.
It's funny you said that because every time I bring this up to people, I'm like, we should have it. Everybody's like, put it on your Patreon. And I'm like, okay. And like, you're the third person that said it. So maybe it should just be a Patreon thing. Everybody's like, just do it on your Patreon.
Needs to happen. So Don McDaniel. Okay, let's talk about Don real quick. Don is my right-hand man. He does a lot of research for me when it comes to my interviews, and he's supposed to be in a church Zoom meeting right now, ladies and gentlemen, and he is here in the chat. I'm not sure how I feel about this, but Don, I love ya. He says it's 90 degrees here in Atlanta.
Ooh, yeah. So he's feeling it like us.
And Juice, what's up, Juice? Juice is actually in San Antonio, Texas, and he says it's 100, but it feels like 200. I am sure it does. That fucking heat, that stagnant heat. Sometimes it's too much for some people, What's up, Brett Coleman? I see you. Thank you guys all for hanging out with us. You could be anywhere in the world and you here with us. We appreciate it. Everybody listening at home on the podcast, everybody hanging out in the comment section. If you have any questions, drop them. So Raelyn, you actually have your own podcast as well, don't you?
Yes, it's called Music is Funny. So over the pandemic, my guitar player and I weren't doing anything. We weren't getting out and playing. So we decided to start a podcast. So before, when we were actually touring, we only listened to stand-up comedy in the car, in the van. We don't agree on music to listen to. So we would, none of us do. So we would just listen to stand-up comedy specials or podcasts. And so over the pandemic, we're like, I wonder if we could get the comedians to talk to us. So we just started reaching out to them. And we got Doug Stanhope immediately, which was a huge help because pretty much if you say Doug Stanhope has done it, then every comedian kind of knows him and they email him or text him like, hey, should I do this? And he would say yes. So he really helped us out in the beginning. And then, so then we just ended up getting a lot of other cool ones like Kathleen Madigan, who doesn't do any other podcasts except for her own. And she's cool as fuck. She lives here in Nashville, so she did it live. And then now we hang out with her and drink beer.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. And then we had like Dane Cook on. We had Ari Shafir, who is one of our favorites. And then we've had Carrot Top on there.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool ones. And actually everyone's super cool, but a lot of big name ones too. And I can't wait to have Nikki Glazer on. She's my favorite comedian. So
dude, I enjoyed the episode. What's the ventriloquist name? Terry. What's his name? Terry Fader?
Yep, that's it.
Dude, and he had the Willie Nelson puppet. Oh my, and he fucking sounded, wait, was he that him actually singing?
Yes.
He sounded just like Willie Nelson.
It's crazy. He could do so many different voices, and it's something to do with his throat too. Who knows how he does it? He says he tried to explain it, but I can't even explain it to you. It's like put the muscles up and then down and then back. It's like whatever. You're just an anomaly. But he said that Simon Cowell said that he was the second most talented person in the world, or the top two most talented people in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, that was really, I didn't expect that one to be as interesting. I was almost kind of like downplaying it. And then JB and I, before it started, we were like, I wonder if he's just going to answer all of his questions without moving his lips, or he's going to answer with a puppet, because we're just assholes. But then it ended up being really interesting. And every time he would do it, it looked so mesmerizing. And I was like, fuck, this guy's really good. No wonder he's got millions and millions of followers. And bands.
A whole Vegas show, or he had a Vegas show for a long time.
He's still there, still there.
Oh, really?
Yes, and he was on America's Got Talent, which I think really boosted his, exposure, if you will.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. You guys, thank you all for hanging out with us. We have Kaylin. What's up, Kaylin? We got Erica Reese from Corpus Christi, Texas. I bet it's real hot over there. Chris Luna says he's supposed to be working, but he's hiding out in the office. All right. Shh. We won't tell, we promise. Mama Bear says Grandpa Willie loves Texas. That indeed he does. We got Megan Richardson in the chat. What's up, Megan? Jake Schwartz, Foresight Imaging, the whole fan band. Thank you guys all for hanging out. We were talking about Raelyn Nelson's podcast called Music is Funny. You guys make sure to go and subscribe today to get everything funny and comedy and music related.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about how you got into forming your own band, into your own sound, because it's a very like punk, country, punk country or something,
Yeah. So, well, I have 3 kids. And so when I was stuck at home nursing them, I was coming up with all these little melodies. And so when I got done nursing them, I tried to find a place to go record them. And I met JB through a mutual friend. We were both buying weed, actually, from the same guy.
Dude, I love you so much. Oh my God.
So we totally hooked up the band because I go over to it. He's like, I got a studio, you can come over. I won't charge you much to just lay down some tunes. So I go over there, and pretty much there's a lot of people in Nashville who have studios in the backyard. That's just kind of a normal thing. But so I go over there, and then by the end of that day, he was like, we should put a combo together and like play some songs. I was like, okay, yes. I was just ready to be in the music business and do it, get out of the house, have something to think about other than babies, just something. And so then so we started getting together, we started writing songs. So his background is all punk rock, right? All rock and grunge. And of course my background's country, and a little bit of pop. So it's just like that. Basically it's a mixture of that. I'll start a song and come up with the bones of it, and then him and I will start writing it together, and he rocks it up. You know what I mean? And
Wow.
It ended up being kind of a cool hybrid. It's just literally him and me, and what our influences are, and then we just make the song. And I don't know, a lot of people have called it different things. I've been told that I can't call it punk unless somebody else calls it that. Like, you're not allowed to call yourself punk.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Well, good thing we didn't even chat about this before we went live, because we really didn't. That was just what I put in my head when I've been listening to your album for the past forever, since it came out. But the last 2 weeks, I could not stop listening to it. And I'm like, dude, this is so fucking hardcore. It's badass. I love it.
Thank you. I just write songs about things that are going on, if something's going on, and then it doesn't necessarily mean the whole song is about that. Sometimes it is, but like there's pieces of songs about things that are going on, and you just make it rhyme and put it to a great melody,
Yes.
And then I let JB rock it up and change some shit around. And then, it just kind of ends up being cool. And I'm so excited because we're working on a music video that's taking a little bit of time. I'm not going to tell you right now. I'd tell you off, not live. I don't mean to do that to your fans, but I just want it to be a big surprise for everyone. Yeah. But the song is called Free, and it's going to come out in just a couple of weeks. I think like June 23rd or 24th or something like that. So I'm trying to get the video done before then so that they can both come out together. So I'm super excited to put new music out. I'm also starting to record the next single after that. And I think I might do some covers, put out some covers, some Papa Willie songs or something. Yeah, I'm just tired of not putting music out, and I want to focus on this season of doing that, like let's record some stuff so we can start putting things out. And I think online, like everyone now because of online and the internet, people want stuff quickly, and short stuff, they don't want long form of anything, unless you're in the podcast world, obviously, some people like the long form.
I'm like 5 hours later. Oh, yeah. Yes. I do that all the time. I know that there's some people out there watching right now that are unable to comment. I appreciate your messages. I'm really sorry. I'm not sure why. I'm trying to fix that. I'm trying to go to YouTube or a different platform. But if you guys want to drop the questions in the messages, then I will try to check them while we are live. All right, we got a question from Luigi. Who are your non-musical influences?
Nikki Glazer, comedian. I'm just gonna name comedians now, probably, if it's non-musical, right? I love Ryan Sickler. I love Ari Shafir. I love I listen. Like, do you watch comedy podcasts ever on YouTube?
I don't. I guess I need to start though.
Well, if you do, you'll get sucked in, and it's way better to watch them. That being said, I usually listen to a lot of them too, so there's certain ones I watch and certain ones I listen to. I love Your Mom's House, which is Tom Segura and Christina P. And yeah, I would just give you a whole bunch of comedy. If you're wanting me to be like super serious and stuff, I don't even know, like not musical wise, not comedy wise. I don't know. Who would your influence be that it wouldn't be musical?
That is a great question. I would have to say
Your mom.
I was gonna say my mom, yeah, but I was like, that's just too easy to say, right? That's like, of course I'm gonna say that, but she's musical too, because she really. So Papa Willie is actually the reason I started playing music. My great grandma, when I was about probably 5 or 6 years old, she's watching PBS Austin City Limits, and she's playing the harmonica, dancing in the living room to Willie Nelson. And I had to, like, that was a big reason why, well, that's the reason why I play harmonica today, but my mom's also the reason why I play the bass guitar. And so, yeah, I would go with my mom. So who do you go with? Oh, all the comedians.
Yeah, I would go with comedians. I guess my mom too. I think everybody's non-musical influence would be their mom, right? Because
or dad, yeah, just
dad.
Yeah.
So my dad died when I was little, so he can't really be that big of an influence. But I would just have to say my mom. So my grandpa, of course, has always been on the road, since before I was born. So I've just known him as being famous. And I think it was, I was probably like 3 or 4, because my dad was still holding me in his arms. So I had to be that young enough for that. And we were at a restaurant, and then all of a sudden my grandpa was bombarded with people and we couldn't get through. And I remember feeling like everyone was kind of scared. And so then like his bodyguard came and like got Papa Willie out of the scary situation. And that's the first time I realized that things were different. Like my grandpa was different than everyone else because this big man had to come get him out of this situation.
Yeah.
That wasn't even violent. It was just a bombardment of people, so that's the first time I remember thinking, oh, that's what this is. That's what fame is or whatever. That was my first take on that. And then of course my first concert was his at 2 weeks old, or I think it was 2 months old. 2 weeks old, he came to see me when I was 2 weeks old, but 2 months old was my first concert, Papa Willie's show. And so I've always gone to those shows. And I remember I was probably like 8 or 9. It was after my dad died. My mom and I were living in Atlanta for about a year and a half when she married my stepdad. And we like packed up all of his stuff and moved here, but it took a while to like sell the house and everything. Anyway, so we're there, and I remember playing teacher. Did you ever play teacher when you were a kid? Like I pretended to be a teacher, like stuffed animals and like little stuffed animals. Had a little dry erase board.
I still play teacher all the time, girl. Come on.
Yeah. So I was like, and I was pretending to teach them, and I was like, I might want to be a teacher. And then this shot of Papa Willie came in my head playing and singing on stage. And I was like, no, I'm going to do that. And I don't know what that is, but I remember it distinctly. And I remember it happening and knowing that I was going to do that. I just didn't really have a plan, or, it just kind of was kind of in and out. And I was like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And then I didn't really, I just started writing songs in my head, but I didn't know I was doing it. If that makes sense. Like melodies would come to my head, but I didn't know I was making them up. but I would just make up melodies about things happening throughout the day. And it didn't hit me that I was writing songs until I was late teenager. And these weren't great songs, but still it was a melody and a song. And I just didn't quite realize I was doing it.
Sure.
So it took me being home with babies and having to sit there and be there to pick up a guitar and literally be like, oh, and like write some stuff down to actually make it happen. You know what I mean? It just, that's how it worked for me.
Did you teach yourself guitar?
I took guitar lessons so my grandpa sent me a guitar when I was 14. I reached out to him and asked him to send me one of just like another one of his guitars that I'd seen in his house. I'm like, I know you got some guitars. Will you send me one? But then he bought me a brand new Martin guitar. And so that's the one I still have. It made it through a fire. I swear like angels had to wrap wings around it during that fire, because every instrument that it was sitting with like a band setup in my house with drums and a bass and like other microphones all set up there, and everything else was ruined by water or smoke damage. But my guitar that was sitting there on the floor did not get damaged at all. Took it to the best luthier in Nashville that everyone goes to. He looks at it. He's like, I mean, I'll clean. It looks a little dusty, but it doesn't look like it's been through a fire. Crazy, right? It's like this magic thing. So I will always keep this guitar. I just know that it'll make it through anything. If it can make it through a fire, it can make it through anything. And but it's very special. And I did take guitar lessons, and I remember sitting in my room and just going from guitar chord to guitar chord without even doing this, just to get the fingers right. Now, when I was like 14, 15 years old, before I was even playing anything, I was like, just to get the chords, I would just go back and forth between them.
Nice. Woo! Okay, you guys, this is a special treat today. You guys already know I'm trying not to fangirl over here. We got Jake Schwartz in the house. We got Wiz Fire. Chris Luna says that Andrew Schultz has a hilarious podcast.
I love Andrew Schultz. He's great.
Luigi says, I love her. Stand-up is my other love. Tiger Belly podcast is the shiznit.
I love Tiger Belly too. I watch that one every week. And I was actually on the Honeydew podcast with Ryan Sickler last year. And then I just did a show with him a couple of weeks ago that's supposed to air pretty soon too.
Nice. Randy says, I love Chris D'Elia and Theo Vaughn.
Oh yeah, Chris D'Elia. Yeah. He's great too. Theo Vaughn's awesome. He's here in Nashville. I tried to get him on my podcast, but it hasn't worked out quite yet. He doesn't want to listen to me now. I don't know. He's a little nuts.
Well, not yet, but we manifest things here.
Yeah.
So soon it's going to happen.
Yeah. I did meet him once, but I didn't ask him to be on the podcast to his face. I've only asked him online and he ignores it. Yeah.
Well,
Danish and O'Neill is a great podcast too, if they like silly comedy like Theo. And I was just on theirs too. That was a good one. So go check that one out.
Awesome. Chris Luna asks, when is the Grandpa collaboration happening? Now, I know you guys already put out the Moon song.
Yeah.
Girl, that's my shit. So that's the first song I really ever heard. So that's what I thought your music was like.
Yeah.
And then I heard your album, I'm like, oh shit, she's fucking punk rock as fuck.
We actually need to do a new version of the Moon song with Papa Willie in there, but because we didn't quite know what we were then. That we put that song out as a Raelyn Nelson song before we even figured out, oh, this is Raelyn Nelson band is a thing with the punk rock thing. So yeah, it doesn't sound like me at all or us. But it is cool. It was like the first song we wrote, and I texted my grandpa and I said, hey, I have a song and I want you to hear it. And I sent it to him. And I was like, I want to know if you would want to play on it, just play. And he listened to it and wrote me back and said, yes, let's make it a world smash hit. And I'm still waiting for it to be a world smash hit. But when I got it back, he actually ended up singing and playing on it. And I didn't even ask him to do that. So it was really cool that he did both. And
Yeah, he has that cool little fucking his little, what is it, like brand of guitar solo that he does. Oh my god. Dude, when I heard it, so like I'll do a ukulele song once a year when I actually sing, because I'm not a singer, I'm a fucking bass player, but I'll do it once a year. And this, when I heard that song that I've been trying to fucking sing it, I can't do it yet. I'm going to do it though on my ukulele, and I want to learn, the guitar part and everything. But dude, your voice, like, it's so fucking cute. It reminds me of
so little. Sounds like I'm 3.
No, it reminds me of like Scarlett Johansson's voice. And she has that quality. You just have this quality that I just love. If anybody has not checked out Raelyn Nelson Band, make sure to follow the Raelyn Nelson Band, download her album, and check out that Moon song that she did with Papa Willie, the one and only Willie Nelson. You guys already know. What's up, Scotty in the house? We got Jesse Duran. I gotta say Duran every time because I always want to call her Duran for some reason. No, Jesse Duran. What's up, girl? I love you. Question for Luigi: are there any music genres you haven't tried yet but really want to?
It'd be really fun to do some pop stuff, like super pop things.
Like Britney Spears pop?
Yeah, why not? That'd be fun. And Taylor Swift, how she went to pop, like she made it cool to do that. So I think it's possible at some point. And then like maybe some hip hop stuff, because I met, do you know Prof? Have you listened to Prof?
Yeah, dude, I was just listening to Prof before I went live with you.
I love
Squad Goals. That's my shit.
Yes, I would love to collaborate with him. And I did meet him and we're acquaintances. So I was thinking of either asking him to do a song that I've already written or maybe writing something that would be cool for him to collaborate on with me or something in JB, because he's cool, number 1. He's funny, number 2. And his music's fucking great. I love it. And it's hard to have great hip hop these days. It just is, because it's just already been done,
Yeah. Oh my god. I was not expecting. Did we just become best friends? Because I'm pretty sure we did.
Yeah. Dude, and I like all genres, don't you? I mean, I really do. I think that if you create something out of nothing, then somebody's gonna like it, right?
Absolutely. We got Paul from Colorado in the house. What's up, Paul? Love you. Thank
Colorado. What?
Yes. Actually, we have a lot of Coloradians. Is that what you would call them? We are today. We just out in Colorado. Megan is gonna move to Colorado soon. We have Ohio, we have Hawaii, we have Arizona, so much Texas, California. You guys are killing it.
Texas.
Fucking A. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat. Awesome. So what do you envision your next album looking like? Do you think that you'll stick with the same style of music, or do you think you'll switch it up a little bit? Are you going to do a concept album? Are you going to cover all Willie Nelson songs? Dude, you should totally do that on an album.
Yeah. I think I want to do singles and just keep putting singles out every couple of months and do one original, one cover, one original, one cover, one original. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of doing, at least for the time being. And here's the thing. When a song comes to me or a melody, it's not like I'm trying to make this us. It's just what it is. So then when I bring it to JB and I play it, whatever we both hear as we're playing it over and over and over again, that's what it'll be. So if it's different than what we're doing, then it was just supposed to do that because we're hearing it, like, because when you're playing a song, you do you write songs?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so when you're playing and writing a song, you're kind of doing it over and over again to see what you're hearing for where else it could go or what it's going to do, right? So that's what we're doing. And usually it's going to be kind of what we already do because our influences are already putting those seeds have already been planted. But sometimes, sometimes things might sound like a Blink 182 song and you didn't even mean to, you know, and it just ends up happening like that when the very bones of it sound like a country song. You know?
I by the way, am a huge Blink 182
Yeah.
fan. Okay, yeah, they
Pop
were
punk.
just
Pop
knit.
punk. Yeah.
Hold on, I have to text wifey that I'm live with Raelyn Nelson right now because apparently she just doesn't know how to listen to anything I say. Let's see. Wiz says, I'd love to hear a reggae pop fusion song. She would kill it.
Yeah. JB's really into reggae. I bet he would be down to do that for
Dude,
sure.
what'd you think about Papa Willie's reggae album that he put out?
That was cool. He can do anything he wants. He could do any genre. If you guys asked him to do a punk rap, he could kill it, you know? I swear. He could do no wrong. Everybody loves him.
I mean, exactly. He could literally do, but that album was fucking amazing, dude. And also, it set sort of the standard like, yeah, it's okay to go outside of your genre. Yeah, I've been playing country my whole fucking life. Yeah. Outlaw country. But if I want to, I smoke a lot of fucking weed. If I want to play some reggae, fucking A. And he collaborated with the best people in the industry.
Yes.
Boom, you guys.
He just like celebrates everyone's differences, you know, the beauty and the difference of it. And just because it's not country the way he plays country or music the way he plays music, he still likes it, you know? And he's the one who taught me, people, if you create something out of nothing, then it's something, you know? And that's hard to do, to create something out of nothing. And yeah, he's so supportive, and he's always for the underdog. You know, he's exactly like you want him to be. In my opinion, he is the most like Jesus that's walked the planet since, you know, and I know I'm biased, but I truly believe that. I've seen with my own eyes him follow the teachings of Jesus Christ. And I know how controversial that may sound because of him being so being an activist for marijuana, and that stigma of that can make people think that you're definitely not a follower of Jesus Christ. But I've just seen him he loves everyone and everyone loves him. It's just, and there's this aura and energy. I've never really seen him be mean to anyone, you know? He's just great. And I mean, I've seen him mad, but he just gets quiet, you know, and contemplative, you know. It's not an outburst of any kind, you know. He's never been mad at me. I just think he's the coolest person on the planet, and I think his legacy, I just hope I get to spread his legacy too, you know, to everyone I can, because who don't know about him, who's that, but you know, he's just the coolest. I love his vibe and humor. His sense of humor is great, you know, like everything about him is awesome. I could talk about my grandpa.
You're making my whole entire year. Here's to 2022, you guys. What? Thank you so much. You're amazing. Thank you. I just can't stop saying thank you. And I can't get this ridiculous smile off my face. Get it together, Sonny. Get it together. Okay. We got Montana in the house. We got Minnesota in the house. What's up, Samantha Clemente? She's about to have a baby real soon.
Okay. C-section or down the chute?
Oh, we don't know that information, but we do wish Samantha a very happy birthing, and I can't wait to see pictures of that beautiful baby. Let's see. Daniel asks, what do you think about the Gorillas? Meaning the band, the Gorillas.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say something funny. I'm like, oh yeah, Gorillas are great. Yeah. There really isn't a band that I don't like, you know, unless I've met them and they're mean. But, you know, like, just like music is great. And honestly, I'd listen to podcasts mostly, because I find if I listen to too much music, which I do listen to music, my kids listen to a lot of music, so there is a lot of music playing. But if I listen to too much, I feel like I might steal a melody or something. And I don't want to do that, you know, at this stage of the game. I'd rather it be a natural thing. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Wiz says Papa Nelson and Snoop Dogg would be sick. Didn't they already collaborate?
Yeah. They did a song called Superman together that my grandpa wrote. That's actually a great song. I should have put it in the yoga playlist. I will. I'll do it for next time. It's great. And it is the coolest collab. And Snoop Dogg did say that my grandpa smoked him under the table. That's a true story. And yeah, Snoop Dogg's exactly how you would want him to be too. I feel like he's just like Papa Willie. I feel like Dolly is like that too. You know, like Dolly and Snoop and Papa Willie, they're all kind of like the same. They're just super cool. I met Snoop Dogg here in Nashville when he played. This was probably 10 years ago now. But when he met me, or when I met him, he was so tall, right? He's so tall and skinny.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'7".
Okay. And what is he, like
6'4", maybe?
4? Yeah.
And super thin, right? Super skinny thin. So I'm hugging him and side hug, and he goes, "Oh, the grandbaby." So he called me the grandbaby. I was like, Snoop Dogg calls me the grandbaby. And he walks away and like talks to other people, comes back over, side hugs me again, and goes, "The grandbaby." Twice Snoop Dogg called me the grandbaby.
Oh my God. That is such an epic story. Oh
I know.
God. Oh my God, dude. Fucking A. So Juice wants me to mention to you that he and Papa Willie Nelson share the same birthday. Yes, Juice, we already know. You keep telling us this, and it is very special.
The 29th or the 30th? There's a fun story. Which one is his?
Which one, Juice? Juice is the 29th.
Okay, so then he actually does, because Papa Willie was born April 29th, but the doctor didn't sign the birth certificate until the 30th. So on the birth certificate, it said the 30th. So for half of his life, he celebrated on the 30th. And then his grandmother was like, "Wait a minute, you were born at 11:50, whatever, like really close to midnight." So she was like, "It's actually the 29th. So then now he just celebrates both days.
I love that. He deserves a fucking 2-day birthday. You know what I'm saying?
If anybody does, he does for sure.
Let's see. Wifey says, Raelyn, I hope you know how very much this interview means to my amazing wifey. You are awesome. Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you for reading the text message. She was like, "Dude, I literally called you to see what time you were going on." I'm like, "I'm live right now." What the hell? It's all good. Jesus would have loved ganja. I love that statement. That's a great.
Agreed. He probably used it. It was just maybe in an oil form or something. Maybe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you think about it, God created marijuana. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Jesus Christ, I believe in smoked weed. Absolutely, Samantha.
Me too. Agreed. 100%.
Lindsay says, following the teachings of good old Jesus does not conflict with cannabis use. Organized religion does.
Agreed. 100%. Yes.
Awesome, you guys. I love you all so much. Thank you guys for hanging out. We're having a great time. Adam says C-section or down the chute. That was hilarious, you guys. My mom seems to think Willie Nelson is her boyfriend. Mothers, get off.
You could be my grandma. You could be my new grandma.
Oh shit. So my best friend Amelia in Austin, she says, didn't we see Willie and Snoop together? We did, and Bee Caves, and it was the 4th of July picnic at Bee Caves, and it was Snoop Dogg, and it was 311, and Willie Nelson and Normal was there filming, and me and Amy were middle front row seats. Oh, thank you for reminding me of that. Oh my God, dude, that was when I was living in fucking Spicewood next to Willie's fucking studio.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, those were the days. That was a lot of fun.
Did you ever eat at Angel's Cafe? The Angels?
Oh yeah, off the highway.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely, dude. I lived off of Dill Circle, in Spicewood. And like at the time, you know, Spicewood was like all just like side roads and like crazy fucking, and now it's like all developed out there. It's Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I haven't been out to Spicewood in probably a couple of years now, but I have been to Austin. I just when I was there, I didn't go out to my grandpa's place.
so Amelia, for my birthday last year, she actually booked an Airbnb and threw me a huge party out in Spicewood. And it brought back so many memories. It was fucking awesome, dude, but very, very developed out there. It's crazy. It's like Austin, Bee Caves, Spicewood, like it's all becoming one huge community almost.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jesse asks, what is your favorite place you've traveled to?
I love going to Texas and I love going to Florida because there's a really nice beach there. There's really nice beaches in Florida. They get a bad rap there, but it's really nice. If you go, you're like, oh shit, this is fucking nice. Especially in the wintertime, you know. I think if I ended up anywhere else other than Nashville, it would be the southern tip of Florida, like the Keys, Key West. And stuff.
Just the tip.
That's it.
Gentlemen. Just the tip.
Yes.
Weed says, Ray, can I call you that? What's the weirdest, craziest moment you've ever had on stage?
On stage?
Yeah. Well, two-part question. First, can he call you Ray? Second, what's the weirdest moment you've had on stage?
Nobody's called me Ray since I was 5 or something, you know, but I'll let you have it. I'll let you take it. I didn't hate it. A lot of people call me Ray, but not Ray anymore. So one time, so I do these like I do like these acrobatic things on stage when I'm playing and stuff or at the end of the song. So one time I was doing this back bend thing and I fell backwards and landed on my back in front of everybody. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was fine.
Did you stay down there just playing?
I just laughed and got up and, you know, laughed. I was like, yeah, that happened. But that's only happened.
So you integrate yoga into your stage performance?
I guess so, yeah.
I love that. So let's talk a little bit about your stage performance. Do you prepare for it or is it more of an organic show?
Oh yeah, I just, whatever's happening is happening. But I definitely want to do like fun moves, which is basically why I play the ukulele, because I play guitar and I write the songs on guitar, but the ukulele is a lot smaller and it's, you know, just a lighter instrument, so I can move around and do more things. Yeah, so I just kind of, well, when I first started playing, I didn't do anything but stand there and sing and play. And then I looked around and my band was sweating and like, I'd be like, what are y'all doing? And it turns out they were just like rocking out and I was just standing there. So I was like, well, I want to rock out too. So then I just started mimicking their moves and with the ukulele. And then I just went into I'm way more flexible than they are. So I just started doing my own version of their moves.
Do you know of the Soap Girls?
No.
So they're out of South Africa, and I had the pleasure of interviewing them like last month, right before they left on tour. And they're coming to the States pretty soon, and they're trying to get booked like in Texas. If there's anybody in Texas that is booking, that would like to book two amazing sisters who do back bends and acrobatic skills and all kinds of stuff. They were raised on the streets in not South Africa, I can't remember where originally they're from, but they speak like 16 different languages and they're like contortionists and shit. And They play in their fucking underwear. Like, what is better than that?
Wow. I'm impressed.
Yeah, so they hit me up looking for some booking agents in Texas and the United States. If anybody knows, hit me up. Chris Luna asks, what inspired you to bring an ukulele into the mix?
So when I met JB, he had just done a replacements cover album all on ukulele. So there was a bunch of ukuleles at the studio. And so while he was doing all the engineering parts of our music, I picked it up and he showed me some chords. And if you already know how to play guitar, it's pretty easy to play the ukulele too, you know? So, and I was like, I kind of just want to play this, like I said, so that I can move around and dance. And so at first I did do the guitar and then I switched over to the ukulele because it's just fun. My favorite George Harrison from the Beatles quote, which I'm actually a I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm actually a Beach Boys girl rather than a Beatles or Stones girl. Don't be mad at me, but that's my truth, and that's where I'm at. But George Harrison loved the ukulele and like give them out to people even, you know. And my favorite quote of his is that you can't play the ukulele without laughing because it's just fun. And it's true. It's just true. It's just fun. It's a fun instrument. And nobody, you can't, it needs something like, because I play it like a guitar. I would play with a pick through an amp, you know. I'm not playing the traditional ukulele sound. So it's not really something that you can do on its own. I feel like it needs a band with it. If I'm going to do a solo show, I definitely just play guitar.
Dude, so fucking one of my best friends, Juice, who's in San Antonio, he actually wrote that Beach Boys was his first concert that his first show that he ever went to. And
Wow.
I didn't mention the comment, but how fun is that, Juice? I know you're over there fucking with a huge smile on your face. I miss you. I love you. And I'm hoping to get to Texas soon. Joe Zapata Jr. asks, has anyone ever outsmoked Willie that he would admit to?
Probably not. I don't think so. He's kind of like an all day long kind of smoker, or he was. Now he eats it and vapes a lot more than smokes because he's 89, you know.
Yeah.
So he does it a little differently nowadays, but back in the day he was, you know, an all day long kind of like not joints all day. Well, yes, joints all day long, but like a full joint all day long. So I think like his tolerance kind of builds up. If you just do a little bit of all day long, your tolerance kind of just builds to a place where you can kind of smoke everyone under the table.
You go, Brad.
Like, yeah, I would be willing to test that with anyone. Like, I would do that. I can't do like a hot dog eating contest, but I could totally do a weed smoking contest.
No hot dogs. I actually, real quick story. I actually had to drop my roommate off for surgery this morning at Stanford, and I have a 200-pound pig. He's my pet, Winston Diego, and I was really scared to leave him outside because it was cold and it's dark, and I just don't feel comfortable, you know, because he sleeps inside at night. Anyways, I get home at 6:30 this morning, and somebody forgot to close the gate, and this motherfucker, he like went and like hung out and did some shit around in the neighborhood, and then brought himself back inside the gate and was like back home by the time I got home.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
My heart started beating fast just telling that
I
story.
love your little pig. The fact that you have a pig is probably the coolest thing. That made me love you immediately.
Oh, he's my favorite. And all the people from the neighborhood, they come to see him. I know everybody at home gets tired of saying it or listening to it, but I can't help it. I just love him so much.
I want to get a pig. I want to get one. Is it easy?
No, they're not easy, but they're like so my son's 23 and he's full grown ass, graduated college, the whole shit. And I have this like perpetual toddler that wakes me up every morning at 5 a.m. But I love him so much. I don't fucking care. Like, and he keeps me like somewhat like together, right? Because if not him, what the fuck else do I have? I mean, I have my son, but he lives in LA, you know. So it's a good thing. So if you have the time, they're very loyal and they're just amazing because they're so smart. So like my previous pig, he used to say mama, he would say no, because pigs try to mimic what they hear along with the feelings that go with that. And it's just crazy. Like they're so fucking smart, dude.
Wow.
So, highly recommend if you have the time and the patience for all of that, because it's a whole situation. Quick plug, follow Winston Diego, sweet Oliver Edgar William Nelson, rest in peace. I love you so much. Actually, so my other pig, he was named was William Nelson. So follow Pleasure Point Pig on Instagram. So Lindsay says, I don't mean to get too sorry, I can't pronounce this word here, but I would be fascinated to know how it feels to be family with such an icon while also being autonomous from that. But I digress. Oh my God, Lindsay, could you have used like any more like bigger words in one like comment? So I think she's saying, how does it feel to be related to somebody so famous, but also try to keep your own identity?
Yeah, I that's I think my biggest challenge in life. I think, because I'm super proud of him. So I don't want to not, be proud of him because I am. And you can't really help what family you're born into, So yeah, it's very odd. It doesn't necessarily help the band thing. It just means people are probably gonna listen to it. It doesn't really mean they're gonna like it, So that it does open doors in that way where like, oh, Willie Nelson's Granddaughter, I'll listen to that. They listen, they may or may not like. It doesn't mean they're gonna be a lifelong fan, So uh that that's where, yeah, I don't know. It's my challenge in life to figure that out because I am proud of him and I love him and I want to be just like him and yet be myself. And so, yeah, I'm trying. I'm figuring it out. I digress.
And you are doing amazing at it. Oh my God. If you guys aren't following Raelyn Nelson band yet, make sure to go and do that. Not right now, you guys, after the interview. All right, next question. Have you ever revived old songs you gave up on?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I have one. We just remembered one the other day that we had written and did a whole demo and just forgot about. So I was like, let's put that one out. It's great. And I might change some of the words around a little bit just because it was a few years ago when we wrote it, but maybe not. I don't know.
We'll see. You guys, you don't get this for free. Okay, you'll have to wait and see. Also subscribe to her Patreon. Wait, how do you pronounce it?
Patreon.
Patreon. Make sure to subscribe to her Patreon so we could do Willie Wednesdays. What? Hot yoga. I love that so much. Do you remember the first song you ever wrote?
The first song I wrote was called Tomorrow. And it was like, tomorrow is today after yesterday. Another one without you. No change, no pain, no sorrow. And yesterday will be tomorrow. That was kind of I don't know, it's really lame. But that was the first one. That was like the first like real one. Like I said, I wrote melodies and stuff when I was a kid, but I didn't know. I wasn't, they were like, I am brushing my teeth. It was like stuff like that. It wasn't real. So the first song I sat down and wrote and tried to figure out was called Tomorrow. We played it for a little bit in the band, but then there were just other better songs because your first song is never great.
Oh, I think my first song, this is Pervert Sunshine coming out, was called like Static Vibrations. Okay. Can you feel the heat? Can you feel the loving? Like, dude, I was like 10 years old. What the fuck, dude? I have one of my best friends, Temple Hightower, and that is her real fucking name. Give it up, Temple. I had to tag her because you remind me a lot of my Templeton. Oh my God, you guys totally love everything. So I love you, Temple, and she's a huge Willie Nelson fan as well. So let's see. Good. Jonathan Bright asks, what are the band rules?
So the band rules are, okay. So the first rule is no anal sex.
Wait, what did you say?
So the first rule is no anal sex. The second rule is still no anal sex. The third rule is don't be an asshole. The fourth rule is no cocaine. And number 5 is why are you being an asshole and having anal sex while doing cocaine right now?
Oh my God, that's a whole fucking album, dude. What happened? That's a concept album right there, dude. And not only that, but they're doing cocaine off of her asshole. Like, okay, I didn't need to put that visual out there, but I just thought that I would seal the deal and make the circle go round. Okay, what's up, Bill Herbert? Thank you for hanging out. Who's going to Dry Diggins? My first festival and a smoke contest would be epic. Awesome. I know Timothy Gaines, formerly of Striper. You should interview him. Okay, I'm trying to get through these comments. You guys, we're going to start wrapping it up. We've been going here for about an hour. If I did not get to your question, I'm so sorry, but I love you all so much. Two questions. These are my personal questions that I ask most of my guests that come on the show. First one, if you could have a dinner party for any 5 musicians, dead or alive, who would those musicians be, and what are you serving at your dinner party?
Would it be weird to be like my band? Or just like
you could totally do it. It's your dinner party, girlfriend.
Okay. So then maybe my band and Justin Timberlake. That's who's coming to the party. And Britney Spears. Britney Spears is coming with Justin. So then that'll be fun to watch that weird tension thing happen. And then my band's coming. And then I'll serve, I'll get a catered order of Penn Station French fries and sandwiches and lemonade for everyone.
Lemonade. Is your lemonade made with like sugar? Oh, whiskey. I love this. God,
you know I'd probably just honestly buy these. I love these. These are all day IPA. They're great because you can, there's a little car on it, so you can even drive and drink and drive. Yeah, it's just got 4% alcohol in it, so it's just like,
dude, I fucking did. This is my girl right here. Welcome to the Sunshine and Raelyn Nelson show.
Yeah. Sunshine right. Ray. What?
I love that. Too bad my mom named me Sunshine Jessica. Why'd you do that, Mom? Why'd you do that? I don't know. Ma says, can you give Gramps my number? I think he lost it. Yes, Mom, I will definitely provide that to Raelyn. She can definitely text that over to good old Willie for you. Last question. What's your best piece of advice that you could give the listeners out there?
Don't be an asshole.
I love that. That is great advice, actually. I love that a lot. I have a lot of clothing that says assholes live forever. Let me just tell you guys, it's not because I'm an asshole. It's because my roommate's an asshole and this motherfucker's never gonna die. He's so mean. But I love him and I bless him. I hope he recovers through surgery and everything's good at Stanford. I think stop being an asshole.
I think we can all be assholes at some point, and I think if we try to make a goal to not be when we want to be the goal, then that's the first step. That's it. That's all. We're just gonna try not to be an asshole because it's easy to be. Human nature makes us want to be an asshole, so we're just gonna try not to be. That's what "don't be an asshole" means, and also grace if you need to be an asshole sometimes. Yeah. But just try not to be.
Let's live like Willie. Okay. Yeah. Also, Nelson and Parton for president 2024. Okay. Yes. We are running the campaign. All right, you guys, I love you all. Thank you. We're gonna wrap it up with Chris saying my employees busted me. I'm so fired, but you two were worth it. Back to work. Nice meeting you, Raelyn. Much aloha to you both. It happens, you guys. All right, until next time, let's see who am I interviewing tomorrow. Mr. Randy Nichols. Oh my God, bass extraordinaire. I'm very excited to interview Mr. Randy. That will be 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I hope you guys can join me. Until then, you guys be kind. You never know the battles the people around you are facing. Try to keep a smile on your face and be safe. It's a dangerous fucking world out there. On 3, let's say bye, girl. 1, 2, 3.
Bye. Bye.